Hey Sting, welcome back from spring break. It's Ark and Natalie back again with the noise for this week.
We're glad to be back in the studio. Still, spring break was a blast, but sometimes it's the surprise days off that just are more magical.
Yes, I especially love having snow days as a kid. The surprise of waking up to a snow day was the absolute best.
Let's pass the mic over to Emma and I with some more about these whimsical days which have become a thing of the past.
Remember the most recent snow day? Snow days look much different than they used to, but people still find a way to enjoy the day.
Me and my family, we went out and shoveled the driveway, and then we tried to make a luge on the side of our house, but the ice and snow was too thin.
Mine is sleeping in, and then watching TV and movies and snowball fight.
Usually during snow days, I'll go snowboarding. I'll just pack up and go to a nearby hill, and I'll walk up it and then go down.
Each person has their own special memories of snow days of old.
We would go and make hot chocolate after playing outside, and then we would play games inside, after being outside for a while.
I used to live in a Trump Brook, and whenever it was a snow day, when they went in and plowed, there'd be snow piled up right in front of me, right in front of my house. So me and all my childhood friends, we'd dig through it and make a tunnel system.
I would go outside and I would go sledding on a little tiny hill in my yard.
Despite all the fun that snow days are, there are still some mixed feelings about snow itself.
I don't like the snow.
I don't like the snow either. I crashed into a tree once when I was sledding, and it was very fun.
So did I!
Yeah!
Oh my god!
It snows enough that I get out of school, but just enough so it's still drivable, and then I can go snowboarding.
And of course, a snow day isn't really complete without some go-to snacks.
I also think hot chocolate tastes really good. I don't really like coffee much.
So basically, my mom makes this type of flatbread called chapati, or whatever you want to call it. We usually make those on snow days because we have the time to. That, and a cup of hot cocoa or chai.
From some great snacks to some awesome memories, snow days are a lot of fun. Stay safe out in the snow, Sting. This has been Natalie and Emma, Noise News.
Thanks, team.
Spectrum wrestler Jayse Norling had an impressive first season by placing fourth in the girls' super section tournament. More on that with Layla and JD.
Spectrum High School prides themselves in their athletics and their ability to overcome adversity. And nobody sets that example more than first-year wrestler Jayse Norling, who is breaking boundaries in a male-dominated sport.
Wow, Jayse achieved so much this year. I think I'll just start with the basic stuff. She started from a place of very little knowledge in wrestling, a lot in grappling from jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, but just to learn the rules. It's similar, but it's different. So she had a lot to learn as far as that piece, but then also to physically be able to do all of the things she's learned. That in itself is just a huge accomplishment. And then to be on the varsity team, to wrestle boys throughout the year and do well.
She learned so quickly, and she used that to her advantage because first month or two of wrestling, she won her first girls championship, first place, and then at the Mora one, she won another, I'm pretty sure it was Mora. She won another one, but yeah, that's how I describe it. It's just amazing to work with.
My brother decided that he was going to do wrestling. I was like, oh, I should do that too. I've been looking for something like that. And I went and I tried it at the captain's practice, and I fell in love with it. I was like, yes, this is what I want to do. So, yeah.
Throughout the season, Jayse has set herself apart from other wrestlers on the team by her efforts to succeed.
I think what sets her apart is her character. She's very sure of who she is, and that matters a lot in wrestling.
She wanted to learn more about wrestling, and so what she did, she took extra classes after wrestling practice, and that sounds a little bit nuts because after wrestling practice, I kind of want to go home and lay down on my bed. But she always wanted to learn more, she always wanted to practice more, and she wanted to be better, and so she worked towards that goal.
I go to other girls' practices to keep learning and feel how it's like to wrestle other girls. The community, specifically the girls' community, is just so empathetic and loving and kind, and they support each other and uplift each other. It's just amazing.
Her willingness to learn and her determination to grow inspires others to do the same.
I think that the one piece that I liked about Jayse was the character that she brought to the team and how wrestling will reveal that.
And I'd say, like, she wouldn't have gone 4th place in top 10 in the state if she wasn't like that, if she didn't want to take the extra step, but she did. And so that's just something that's very inspirational to me, because when I wrestled first year, I didn't manage to beat too many kids, but here she is going out there beating kids left and right.
Even if you go through something that's really hard and you don't get what you want, you can still take and salvage the good parts to make yourself stronger. And wrestling helps you do that.
With passion and hard work, Jayse Norling finished her first season with a 25-15 record. She will be continuing her wrestling career next year and hopes to inspire other young women to join wrestling too. This has been Layla and JD, Noise News.
Thanks, guys. While we're talking about great athletes, I do believe it's time for sports.
You'd be right, Arik. Ethan, the floor is yours.
Hello, Spectrum. I'm Sport, and welcome back to the Ethan. Did I get that wrong? Probably. Well, whatever. We have a nice and breezy day today, so let's hop right into it. 2 weeks ago, the boys' varsity basketball team shot their shot against the Melrose Dutchmen and unfortunately lost 50-52. Don't worry though, I'm sure next year they'll send them flying back to Davy Jones's locker because that game wrapped up their season. If you're wondering what the scores are, look no further than the bottom right corner. Running it back to last Thursday, track and field had scrimmages against multiple schools at Bethel University. You have a compassionate soul and feel bad for them running in the cold weather? Don't worry, the scrimmage happened indoors. Have a fantastic day, Spectrum. Back to you, Natalie and Arik.
Thanks, Ethan. Where's Arik?
I'm so sorry that I'm late. I couldn't find any parking.
It's okay. When you're a small school like us, parking can be especially hard to come by, especially with how fast our school population is growing. Here's some more info with Ben and Preston.
Starting out from small roots, Spectrum has grown a ton over the years. As new buildings have been bought and more students have joined the school, parking has also developed. Despite many strides to grow Spectrum's parking, it still has its problems. Many students have expressed grievances with the way the parking lots are set up.
If you have release perks and you don't have to come in for first hour, you just can't find a spot. You can never get one at the high school. You can barely get one at the middle school.
It's mostly when people are merging in from where the students park and then people are getting picked up, like just not paying attention and like becoming like a lane and a half.
I think the issue is the limited amount of spots that we have here. So like, I think more spots are definitely needed when it comes to coming in late or leaving for a little bit and then coming back to the school later. It's just really hard to get a spot at that time.
But where did these problems start? Before the high school was turned into a school, it was intended to be used as a warehouse. The parking was not set up for a school environment, and the administration had to do with what they had at the time. This is the same for all of the schools on Industrial Boulevard, with each of the buildings being used for different purposes. Because of this, the administration has had to make many changes to the way the parking lots flow.
They actually added parking over here. That field out here was originally designed to go all the way across, and then they had to add on the student parking. So that was like the first time they had to expand student parking. The second time was when we built the 6th grade building, which was probably 7 years ago now, 7 or 8 years. And actually there's quite a bit of parking added both in the front and the back of the 6th grade building. We continued to grow. We separated out the 7th and 8th graders over in the 7-8 building, and we added more parking for students.
Though many good changes have been made, problems with parking still persist. So, what are they planning to do for the future, and what do others want admin to do?
Taking the grass field back there and just making it a parking lot so there's more spots.
But I feel like the best way to get more spots would either be turn that field over there by the 7A building back into a lot, or the one right here.
We're actually currently in negotiations with the owner of the property just to the west of here between the railroad tracks and the school. It's adjacent to our current property in the hopes that we're going to secure that land as well. So our long-term plan as we continue to expand is to add more parking at the high school, which may be over, if it all works out, it may be over a little to the west of here, connected on the other side of that parking lot, or we may end up putting a field back there and then taking over this field and adding more parking here. So we continue to look at the future and what it looks like as we continue to add students to try and make it as convenient as possible.
Spectrum's parking lots have developed a lot over the years, and as the student body grows, there will no doubt be more expansion and improvement of them. This has been Ben and Preston, Noise News.
To finish off today's show, a story about the recent band ensemble performance.
Take it away, River and Amelia.
Here at Spectrum, our band program is very strong. Some of the people in our band program had the chance to participate in solo and ensemble band competitions.
So basically, so people decide they kind of want to show off what they know and how well they play. So either you're a soloist, so you play by yourself, and usually you have a piano player with you, or you put together like an ensemble. So like for example, I've been in a brass quintet, so that was a French horn, trombone, 2 trumpets, and then baritone or tuba.
So the solo ensemble contest is like people showing off their abilities with playing and playing with other people, so that's the ensemble part of it. In solos, most of the time you have a piano accompanist, but you're showing that you're able to play and kind of flaunting your skills.
So Miss Pauline picked music for us, or we pick our own based on the book she gives us, and we learn how to play it, and then we get judged by a judge that comes here based on dynamics and notes and articulation and just our tone and how well we play it.
A lot of people were really nervous but excited to see the outcome of the event.
I got a superior rating, which is the highest you can get. I got 39 out of 40 points, and I got best insight out of everyone that performed today.
A lot of people shared their experiences before and after the performance.
I'm really excited to see where we land.
Yeah, so today definitely went into it nervous, definitely feeling like I wasn't ready. And there were definitely some rough spots.
It does help when you're in a group and you all sound great together. It brings everyone down just a little bit, but everybody up a lot more.
Some people plan on doing it for many years to come and have many reasons why.
I do plan on continuing playing band through senior year.
It's really important to me and my family. Like, it's been something, like, even like growing up, my parents were like, you always need to be doing something musically. So I started in choir, and then it was piano and choir, and then it was flute and choir, and then for a little bit it was French horn and choir, and now it's just French horn, so.
The band really enjoyed the performance and thought the judge was a really great.
It was very nice that the judge wasn't yelling at us, or he was super calm, and he helped me through it. We walked on little bits of it, and after his help, I was better than even I started after 5-10 minutes maybe.
He had this super calming presence about him, which is super nice and underappreciated. He had very high praise for the technical aspects of my solo that I was able to carry out that he said a lot of other students wouldn't have been able to do.
We are so proud of the performances that they gave, and we hope that they perform even better for years to come. Congratulations to all that participated. This has been River and Amelia, Noise News.
Great story, crew.
That was music to my ears. But that's all the news we have for you this week, Spectrum. This has been Natalie.
And Arik.
Keeping you in on the noise.
So, did you have a good spring break?
Yeah, I slept a lot.
Breaking news, the power's about to turn off.